What they do is they upload their required videos in a PDF that I send out. They upload that into a Google Drive folder. And then I take the Google Drive folder, download it, and then make an own folder on my hard drive. And then got my little paper. These are all analysis clients from when November 14th, and got a couple more pages left. So I take their PDF and then I just kind of fill out some information, age, height, weight. I'm the favorite pitcher to watch because I feel like, especially with young kids, they'll lock in and be more attentive if it's somebody that I'm comparing them to that they like to see. So they're, whoa. And then I like to say, what problems have you been told within your delivery, just so I can get a feel for what they've been told thus far and see if I can help give them a better understanding. Biggest thing you want to get out of the analysis: mental cues I can use when struggling. Where's my pen? I do this all the time. I lose my pen because I put it somewhere and I don't know where I put it. Got it. Always use a Pilot G2. Then you take a look at the mound behind. Lefty swag. Dude, this guy's rocking dope stirrups. Let's go. I like looking at open side first, played in fast motion. Okay, so right off the bat, I see 3 things that are happening. Okay, and then behind gives me a good look at direction, drive leg loading pattern. So, and then the goal, it's interesting because he's a lefty and he wrote all right-handed pitchers that he likes to watch. Interesting. The goal for me is like to take the lowest hanging fruit. Like, what is the biggest thing? Because it's easy for me to see 7 different breakdowns and just give them all, but it's another thing to be like, all right, this breakdown, you know, we'll focus on this piece, that'll clean up X, Y, and Z, because more oftentimes than not in the pitching delivery, you know, you focus and keen in on the biggest piece, that's going to clean up a good amount of other things that are occurring inefficiently, right? So that's my goal in terms of how I approach these guys. What's the lowest hanging fruit in their delivery? And then I open up my all my videos from guys in the bigs. I'm gonna use Chapman for him. I know I said I like to use guys that he wrote down, but he's a lefty. I think this will make more sense. Zeus Luzardo is a good comp. All right, and I'll write down who am I comparing it to. Luzardo. What progressions we'll use. All right, I'm color coordinated. I'm color coordinated with my analysis guys. Is that bad? OCD at its finest, man. All right, so then I open up my video software that I use, turn my camera on, throw my headphones on, mic over here. Everybody from the 313 8 Mile. You guys are too young for that. All right, let's do it. We're live in 3, 2. Ethan, I just want to say, man, you're my favorite player, and I've never watched you pitch besides these videos. Lefty, long hair, and stirrups. Dude, you've checked all 3 boxes for me, and I'm thrilled. So thank you, my man. All right, dude. So we're gonna screen your entire delivery. We'll talk about things in order of appearance within your delivery, and then we'll double back after that. Talk about essentially the lowest hanging fruit, right? The biggest things that I think you need to spend time and energy focusing on. That, in my opinion, will clean up some of the other breakdowns that we're seeing within the delivery. All right, so I got you comped with Jesus Luzardo. I know you wrote Bauer and DeGrom, which is interesting because you're a lefty. I've never had a lefty have a favorite players of a righty. So another check box for me, just being different. Love that. Jesus Luzardo, I like to comp guys with similar size, similar body movements, and I'm also going to show you a video of Chapman. I know that's kind of unfair because Chapman does essentially everything well, but let me turn that up real quick. All right, here we go. Okay, so taking you, like I said, order of appearance. All right, so at 5'11", 160, this is the way that I look at like the initial move, right? So the initial move in your delivery is going to set yourself up for the entire kind of tempo of the entire delivery, the tempo of the entire delivery, right? So this isn't to say that like a hip coil, which is like this shooting back here, it's not to say that it's bad or good. I look at like a hip coil and a trunk tilt in such a way that helps aid in loading up the drive leg. And to be completely honest with you, at 160, you're just limited to the amount of force potential that you can put into the ground, right? Like that's just the way it is. You have a limited amount of mass, so you have a limited amount of force potential into the ground. But what we can do, in my personal opinion, is you can help influence your acceleration rate, right? So the velocity is made up of kind of two different components. Obviously, you have like accelerators and you have drivers. I don't know if you've seen any of my stuff on that identification system, but at your size, I would highly encourage you to look at increasing initial move forward momentum. All right, so as soon as you get into your peak, as soon as you get into your leg lift, just having some sort of mechanism that can shift your body going, towards the task, towards your target, which is going to influence your acceleration rate. And it's also going to influence another piece in your delivery that, in my opinion, is the biggest breakdown as we see you come in. I love where your hand path is. I like your arm action. Drive leg leaks a little bit. And it just looks to me like you're trying to defy gravity, right? Like there's a fine line of, hip coil to load the drive leg, and then the other side of that coin is like defying forward gravity, defying forward acceleration. Look, we are the only overhead athletes to throw on a slope, and the slope is there to help aid in acceleration. It gives us a higher rate of acceleration. We want to utilize that, right? So we want to control center mass and allow us to use gravity to influence a greater rate of acceleration down into the mound and down into your anchor point. So I think what you're doing is there's this fine line of like buying time. You hear a lot of instructors say like get on time, which actually kills me because it promotes slower movements, and which I hate. And like I mentioned with you earlier, is you're essentially buying so much time. You have so much time that things are just kind of happening early, right? And I believe like if you increase that initial move forward momentum, increase your acceleration, you take away that time, and now things can maybe happen a little bit on time. So this is, again, rotation into front foot strike, boom, anchors down, trunk neutral, hips into rotation, creating rotational energy inside 90, boom, leverages the arm into the slot. So, we look at like arm speed, we look at velocity and all these things, and there's no such thing as, there is such a thing as arm speed, but arm speed isn't created by the arm independently. It's creating an energy flow within your body and using your body's energy to influence a greater rate of acceleration with your arm. All right, brother, check everything out. Don't get overwhelmed. Be intentional, be diligent with your work and what you're focusing on and the goals, okay? Keep rocking stirrups. Don't cut your hair. Have fun. The game's fun. You're a lefty. Be weird. I'll talk to you. See you, brother. Work hard. Or how you like that. Huh? Now that's all shot, and now I gotta edit a little bit. Lighting's tough. Top, boom, here. We'll export it. Type up the screening process. So segmentation, breakdown, limited momentum. And we go to talk about what we're going to focus on with our progressions. I got segmentation progressions. Okay, so got that screening typed up, and now we go into my coaches packages. As soon as that's done exporting, airdrop it, iPad, upload it, YouTube, refresh on the YouTube, copy, paste the screening into his analysis report, and then send him the analysis report with all the progressions and screenings and explainers. Boom. 30-minute long video. So that's how long it takes me nowadays. This process used to take me like 3 hours. So I'm pumped that it took me 30 minutes. That's awesome. Great sign.